Today's episode of The Bottom Line is brought to you by First Bank.
Dave, we've just finished a spate of protests. Largely peaceful, but with some...
I'm not sure we finished them, Jim. They seem determined to, I think they're going to go on for a while, yeah.
Okay, and you and I being economics geeks, we look at the economic impact of these things. We try to.
Yeah.
And to me, I look at it maybe the effect of a moderate snowstorm. If you look at just the immediate impact. A few cancellations, maybe a little property damage, but it goes by. The question is, are we enduring as a community some reputational damage from this? Some damage, some bringing up the feeling that perhaps this is a community that has bad relationship between.
Well, that is a big issue. Companies like Amazon looking for a second headquarters, St. Louis thinks it's in the competition. We'll see, but. Is this the sort of thing that reflects badly on the community? I think it could, but I think the critical thing is we've got to show that we're making an effort to address the issues. I mean, I think Ferguson is a good example. That's a little bit enough in the past now that we can have a perspective on it. There was a lot of damage done. There were a lot of sort of very footage on national television that was disturbing to people, but I think if you asked them about it today, you'd say, well, that's in the past. Any business that's looking to locate, that wouldn't be a real factor. And we had the Ferguson Commission. There's some reforms, maybe not enough, but the company made the community made an attempt to deal with it. I think we've got to have we got to show some progress.
Well, we did show some progress.
Yeah.
Begin with the Ferguson situation was just much worse.
Well,
here you had a lot of protest, a little window smashing, some rock throwing. There you had looting, shooting, and burning.
Right.
But even if you looked back a year after Ferguson at the economic statistics for the region, it was hard to parse out any real effect outside the core area that was burned. And I suspect that the effect here will be milder. And we did, in fact, make some progress towards improving the situation. We had reform in the municipal courts. We had the adoption of civilian review boards. We could point to those things at a business community or a recruiter from outside and say progress has been made.
No, I think that's true, and even some money's been invested in the immediate area, and perhaps we'll see that. And I know they've already made a forgivable loan fund available to the businesses that were damaged. The recent activism.
And the surprising thing was after Euclid Avenue in Central West End was trashed. Parts of it were trashed. I rode my bicycle down. The next afternoon, and people were in the streets. All these stores were open, some behind boards, but the people were sitting in the cafes as if nothing had happened. Whatever damage this might have done, it did not prompt fear in the community, as it did in Ferguson. If you looked at Ferguson, business was down by 2/3 6 months afterwards.
Right. I think people stayed away for a while there, and what you describe is this. It's the same in the Loop or on Washington Avenue. I think in fact, some people are purposely going to those places to show support.
People are not afraid.
No, and I don't think businesses will be afraid of St. Louis either. Assuming that peace returns and the community moves forward and finds ways to deal with these issues.
I hope you're right.
First Bank Wisdom. You don't have to be around for a century to know what counts, but it helps. Let's look ahead.